All right, so here we are inside of the... Wait a minute. Where are we?
This is not VisualBasic.net. What are you doing?
Hold up, hold up. No, this is all good. This is all good. We're actually inside of VB6, boss. The IDE that our developers out there know and love already.
It's so retro.
It does. Inside the groovy VB6 IDE right now, and I just wanted to give you a little taste of this. We've got our list of controls over here in our toolbox. We've got our form. We've got a couple of controls here. And of course, we have an ActiveX control, which is hosted nicely in VB6. Now, let's move to that IDE that we know our customers are going to know and love. Ooh. Oh, yeah. How can you not love an IDE with a pretty little face like that? All right,
so... The guy on the right looks pretty good, too.
He ain't bad. I like him. He got a pretty mouth. I know that. So we're inside of VisualBasic.net right now, and we can see some similarities to the VB6 IDE. Now, what we want to show you in this demo is an overview of some of the cool things that you can do with Windows Forms. Now, the first thing we'll do is we'll auto-unhide our toolbox, and we can see here that if we go ahead and remove list view, we've got a lot of controls here. We've got quite a few more controls in VB.net that ship by default than we did in VB6. So we've got everything from the label, we've got text box, we've got this main menu control, which we'll take a look at in just a second. We've got the link label, that's new.
That is new.
Indeed. What else? We've got the save file dialog, we've got an open file dialog, bunch of new controls here that you can use on your Windows Forms. Now, let me go ahead and just grab this pointer here. And if you remember from episode 1 of VBTV, I'm going to scroll down here. We've got some really cool advanced layout that we can do with VisualBasic.net. Control anchoring and docking is a great example of that. I can click on a button or really any control here, and I can set its anchor property so that I don't have to write that nasty resize code that I used to always have to write. Now, when I resize the form, that button comes with. Pretty cool, right? Now, what else do we have? Well, we've got this main menu over here. Let's go ahead and drag and drop this in-place menu editor that's new in VisualBasic.net. So, folks, if you've been out there using the VB6, VB5, VB4, all the way back editor that we have for menus, I got some bad news for you. It's gone. We killed it. Now, in place of it, we've got this in-place menu editor that I'm sure you will see is very, very nice. Look at this.
I already know how to use it.
Exactly. And if the boss knows how to use it, you know that y'all out there can use it.
It must be easy.
It's so easy. And it's fun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, let's put help. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't mean to put help under the edit menu. What are we going to do now? Start over?
Online help?
Not a chance.
MSDN?
What I'm going to do is simply drag and drop that help to exactly where I want it to be. Help me, please. Okay. Now, if we want to go ahead and associate some code with any of these main menu items, we can just go ahead and double click on them, and it'll bring us right to that code inside of our code editor. Pretty cool stuff, right? Now, what else have we got? Well, let's go back to our form here. And in the past, when we wanted to change the tab order of controls on our form, we were clicking on the control, and then we were jumping back to the properties window and clicking and jumping, and it wasn't
I know how to do that. You just go and set the tab index property, and you're good.
Absolutely. Well, I got some bad news for you. We changed that too. But check this out. Yeah, I know. But before you get upset at me, I'm going to go ahead and view tab order. That's right, folks. An in-place WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, man. Tab order editor. I can simply click on any of these controls and set the tab order just like that right here. Pretty nice.
Very nice.
Pretty nice. Let's go ahead and run this pretty little application here with my friend Bucky on it. I'm going to press F5, and we're going to run that application. And let's see some of the cool things. Well, that's not the application we were just working on.
I don't know, but Bucky was looking real good in that shot.
He was looking a little bit prettier, wasn't he? Now let's go ahead and show you what I just did there. I'm going to right-click on the project. I'm going to hit Properties. And now here we can set our startup object. So I want to set that to our main form. There we are. Now let's run this, and let's see Bucky's pretty smile.
Much better.
There he is. I'm going to go ahead and minimize everything else here. And let's take a look at some features in Windows Forms that are sure to impress your boss, particularly if your boss is in marketing or business development. I'm going to go ahead and click on Opacity. Ooh.
Nice.
Very nice, very nice. Opacity is part of the GDI Plus subsystem within Windows Forms that enables you to do some really kick graphics, okay?
Cannot say on television.
I'm not allowed to say that, am I?
You cannot.
Sorry, boss. Sorry, sir. Do not fire me. It won't happen again. Now, we've just seen opacity. The boss is sure to love this. What else can we do? GDI Plus allows us to do things like gradient. Yeah. Bucky's looking purtier and purtier. Now, I'm sure that your boss at one time or another has come to you and said, hey, get me a form that is not square. I do not want a square form. Well, we've got code regions now. I'm sorry, we've got form regions, aka shaped Windows forms. Yeah.
Nice. We just removed Bucky's left brain.
Indeed, indeed. A little lobotomy for Bucky. Probably the last thing he needs, but anyway. Now, what's cool about this is I can actually click right through the form into our Explorer window right there. Pretty cool, right? Let's go ahead and set that region back. My personal favorite is the fade in, okay? This will be sure to impress your manager. Oh, yes. Every form can fade in nice and pretty, just like that.
Very nice. Can you fade out his mullet?
That'll be in episode 3. That'll be episode 3.
Can't do it all in the second episode.
No, definitely. We don't want to give away all the secrets here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out right now. And your boss is going to ask you, how long did it take you to write all that cool code? And of course, you tell your boss it took you weeks and weeks and weeks to do, right? In reality, doing all that GDI Plus code is very simple. We'll take a look at an example right here. So let me go ahead and double click on opacity. And you can see all I'm doing is setting a property on our form. Our form's opacity is what controls how transparent that form is. So if we want to fade in that form, we just write a little loop.
So the opacity variable just goes from 0 to 1? Is that the range?
That's right. This guy is smarter than he looks. I tell you what, folks. Now, let's switch to another form here. We've got a multi-form application. There's form number 2 with some more of our favorite cast members from VBTV. Let's say we want to call that form or show that form by clicking on a button in our first form.
Wait, I know VB6. I can do this. All we need to do is say second form.show.
So you would think. So you would think. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, if I'm simply to type in second form dot show.
That's it. I know that's it.
Afraid not, boss. It's not in there.
Oh, man. Did you guys break VB.net?
Indeed we did. Indeed we did. No, actually, this is a new planned feature by design in Visual Basic.net. The fact of the matter, folks, is this is the gotcha that I'm sure you're all going to run across. And so because this is a show about honesty, we want to show you how to get around it. In Visual Basic.net, forms are like any other class. You have to create a new instance of them first. So what I'm going to do here is say dim my form as new second form. And from there, we can say myform.show.
Oh, that's easy.
One extra line of code, right? Let's go ahead and run that. Bring up Bucky, click on load form 2, and there we have it.
Very nice.
Head having all the fun there. All right, so let's close down Bucky.
Are we going to see more of Head later on, like actually in the flesh, in the box, so to speak?
I'm hoping that, that we will get a little head appearance here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's talk data binding. We've got this data grid here in VisualBasic.net, and this data grid is sitting on our form. What's really nice about the data grid is how you can do hierarchical data access. So if we want to pull information from 2 different tables and put them both into this data grid, it's very easy to do. And in fact, we can see we have a combination of objects down here. We've got our connection to our SQL Server database. We've got a couple of data adapters, and we have a data set that's going to store information from multiple tables in that SQL Server. Now I'm going to go over here, right-click on our properties for our project. I'm going to set our startup object as that data form. And now when we go ahead and run this, we can see that we have information from 2 different tables here. The customers table, and for each customer, we have a list of customer orders, which we can bring up as well. So we've got this nice hierarchical data access in VisualBasic.net using this data grid. How many lines of code do you think it takes to do that?
27.
27. Let's see. Wrong. You would be wrong, sir. In fact, it only takes 2 lines of code, which we can see right here. We're simply filling up that data set with each of the data adapters. One data adapter calling information from the customers table, one calling from the orders table.